Good morning, everyone. My name is Tim Conroy. I'm the Executive Director here at Capital Lakes, and I want to thank all of you for coming today and look forward to a good discussion for our third annual breakfast. It's an honor for me today to introduce the Reverend Guta Svetkovic, the Director of Pastoral Services here at Capital Lakes, better known to all of you as Guta. 3 years ago, Guta, with the help of Gene Silverberg and Sally Davis, began the first Interfaith breakfast at Capital Lakes. This is the third breakfast, and I want to acknowledge Guta's leadership in continuing this nurturing, community-oriented, spirit-inspired event infused by the diverse religious, intellectual, and ethical lives of our Capital Lakes community. Thank you, Guta.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me? Is this working? Okay, I'll take this one. I'll try again. Good morning. All right. Our third annual Interfaith Breakfast brings together two communities. From two communities, people of spirit in our city and people who are our Capital Lakes residents. I thank you all for coming today. We'll start our kind of program part first with honoring our resident, Reverend Marvin Schilling. This is a privilege for me to present to you our Reverend Marvin, who is retired United Methodist minister and the resident of assisted living. Most of you know that Reverend Marvin is 105 years old, and just last year he got the recognition by his denomination of serving 79 years as a minister. You know, I looked on Google, who is the oldest clergy in United States, and there is a Monsignor in a Catholic church who was born actually in June, and Marvin is born in September. So I think two of them really share the honor. And so that's why we're here first, to celebrate and honor the age and the health and well-being of Marvin, and to recognize that as a community. Please warmly welcome Marvin. Thank you. I'm sure, Marvin, many people have asked you to share about your wisdom of being 105. Any insights in that for all of us?
Well, I tell my friends, essential is to keep breathing. And as long as I can breathe, I'll be among you.
Thank you, Marvin. Thanks. The theme of our gathering this morning is kindness and mercy in Islam. It is presented by our keynote speaker, Honorable Baba Abubakar Drammeh, retired ambassador of Republic of Gambia, Africa. We are honored that you are all with us today. After Honorable Drammeh speaks, we will have discussions in each table centering on his presentation. This will enable each of us to be not only listeners, but practitioners. We followed this discussion format the last 2 years and appreciated the positive response you gave us for this opportunity. The details of the table discussion will be explained after Mr. Drammeh's presentation. There are many introductions to make this morning, so I would like to begin by introducing to you clergy who are present today from the larger Madison community, and those clergy who are residents of Capital Lakes, as well as residents and staff who helped make this event possible. There's some names here, and Don Katz was not able to make it. He didn't feel good last night, so he canceled. And I don't see Dr. Jonathan Grazer from Grace. So we have here Reverend Mr. Rain Lukasic, Deacon Ray from Isthmus Cathedral, and we have acknowledged that Professor Dr. Ibrahim Said is coming, so maybe he will come a little later. He is a representative of Islamic Center of Madison. So secondly, I would like to acknowledge clergy, spiritual leaders who are residents of Capitol Lakes. Please welcome them. Here's the list. I think Reverend John Cruz was not able to come here, and Jeannie, but and Reverend John Steiner was not able, but the rest of them are here. Please welcome them. Oh, there are many Capitol Lakes residents who help with the Interfaith breakfast, and we have this kind of committee, and we expanded this committee with Harriet Burkhalter. She's a newcomer on this committee, and Sally Davis, Jean Silverberg, and Jerry and Carlisle Dixon co-chairs. So please acknowledge their contribution to this event. Capitol Lake staff, Amy came early this morning around 6 o'clock, helped to set up everything, her team as well. Lisa Olson, Beth Ravenscroft, she's here with the camera. Thank you, Beth, helping. And Kathy Brush, she's our lead receptionist, and her team. Thank you also to Natasha Killian, our resident services director, who made those things possible too. And we also want to acknowledge persons who welcomed you at the door: Florence Lederman, Sharon Hirschfield, Georgia Pasche, Martha Wiedemeyer, Herb Helen, Connie Bacher, and also Joe Sparks came to help as well. I hope I didn't miss anyone. Who? Okay. And also our pianist today is Jean Alderman. I'll pass my microphone today to Carlisle Dixon.
Thank you, Guda. We're extremely pleased today to be able to have an ambassador, a man who has served the Republic of Gambia for many years in many different ways. As it affects us directly, he was an ambassador from the Republic of Gambia to the United States at one point. He'd also been ambassador to Saudi Arabia, but he served as deputy head of mission at the in Washington, D.C. at the embassy there. I thought you might want to know a little bit about where Gambia is. There we are. On your left-hand side, you will see the whole area of Africa, and the far left side, up at the Horn, there is a thing that says Gambia, and then over on the right, you will see the inset. Gambia is surrounded on the west coast by Senegal. You may have heard of that as well as Gambia. Gambia follows the Gambian River, which goes up there from Banjul on up into Senegal, but it has become its own individual, independent country. I had the pleasure of being there in 1960, which was a long time ago, and had the pleasure of working with an organization called Operation Crossroads Africa, which was one of the preludes of the Peace Corps. We were there, a group of about 23 students, American students, working with an equal number of African students. The Senegal is predominantly Muslim, but especially Gambia is, according to the records that I have, about 95% Muslim. And there's a long history of good cooperation and acceptance of all varieties of Muslim and non-Muslim faith communities, even though there are very few non-Muslim faith communities. Just a little bit about Gambia that may be a bit surprising. Any ideas about what its primary product for export might be? Peanuts. Somebody knew, yes. Peanuts, that's absolutely right. And they're also now developing fish hatcheries where they're taking fish from both the ocean there, because the Gambia River empties right into the ocean, and from the rivers, and then exporting the fish after the fish processing to Europe. But at this point, I want to turn everything over to our distinguished speaker, Baba Abubakar Drammeh, and it's a delight, truly, to have you here with us.
Hello? Hello? Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you. Maybe, yeah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. First of all, where I am here today, I really feel thrilled with happiness and pride for having such dignitaries in front of me here. I would want to comment on what Pastor Gota just said about that young man who is sitting over there. His name is Marvin Shelley. Good. You know, there is a story in our community that there was a king who ordered that everyone should kill his own father. Everybody went killing their fathers here and there, except for one wise person. The reason is that the king wanted to be inherited by someone. Now, he asked them a question, a sort of a riddle, a puzzle, that if anyone answer that question, will have to inherit him as the king of the country. Now, since they all have killed their fathers, nobody was able to answer that question, except for that young boy. He spared his father. He didn't kill him. He went to the father and asked him to give him the answer to the question that the king has put forward to them. The young man has the answer from his father and went, because the father was an old man. He's been there for so long. He knows more than anybody else in town. So he gave the answer to his son. The son went and informed the king and gave him the answer. Then the king said, "You are the one to inherit the kingdom now." He became the king. So that is why the older people are very important in any society, especially in modern days, when most people do not ask much. Young people are busy working day and night, trying to make money and so on and so forth. They tend to forget about their fathers, the older fathers, their mothers, because they are just busy working day and night to make money. So that is why we really lose a lot of things. We lose mercy, we lose kindness. Because when you consider yourself to be merciful, you must be patriotic. A patriot can be merciful. When you have no mercy for the elder people or for the younger people, how can you be considered as merciful? And the Prophet ﷺ said that whoever does not have respect for our elders, our older people, cannot consider himself to be part of my religion, my sunnah. He said you have to be respectful to the elders, and you have to be merciful to the young. So the Holy Quran, when my brother called me and asked me about this, the mercy and kindness in Islam, I said to him, my source will be the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad. What I have here, because of the time constraint, I may not be able to really absorb it, but I will try to tell you just a little bit of it, of what I have gathered here. First of all, even every chapter of the Quran starts with Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. That means, in the name of Allah, God, if you will, the compassionate and the merciful. That God is compassionate and He is merciful. So I have so many ayahs, verses here, all talking about mercy. And then I said, what is Islam in the first place? Islam is an Arabic word meaning submission, a total submission into the will of one God, that is Allah. And then the greetings of Muslims is Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. You have the message of Islam is directed to humanity as a whole and mercy to mankind. And the Quran says, and we did not send you, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, except as a mercy to the universe. You, Muhammad, you are sent as a mercy to the universe. So we have so many. He said, he whom you protect from evil, that you will have given mercy. That whoever Allah protects, God will give him mercy. He says to Adam and Eve, we are all created by God, and our origin is Adam and Eve. So when they did wrong, what they asked for mercy from God. So Islam basically is based on mercy and kindness. And this mercy is for the individuals, the first speakers, is for in other areas for two people like Adam and Eve, and the second person, the person we are talking to, whether individual or plural, or the third person, those who are not present, as you know, in English. So it covers. So it means that mercy in Islam is comprehensively covering everything, even the animals. They are not exempted. You said, the Quran says, and they give us and have mercy upon us. So you read, at least there are 12 areas, 12 verses from the Holy Quran. They all talk about mercy. Yeah, I'm having 5 minutes left? Okay. And then now you have the kindness. Indeed, Allah said to the people that you are kind and merciful. People say to Allah, you God, you are merciful and kind. So you have so many verses also regarding mercy and kindness. I have so many subjects here, even the relationship between the Christians and Muslims as it is stated in the Holy Quran. But because of the time constraint, maybe I will not be able to say all that. But what I want to say again is that there was a man who came to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and said that he complained of hardness in his heart. Prophet said, all right, hardness in your heart, in order that one to go away from you, is for you to have mercy for the orphans and the widows. And the Prophet said that the best of the houses is a house in which the orphans are well treated. And the Quran also recommended or ordered us to be merciful and kind to the widows and those who are captured in wars. There was again a man who was very thirsty, wanted to drink water and couldn't get water. All of a sudden he came across a well. He went down the well and drank. When he came up, he found a dog lolling, eager to drink water. But there's no water. What was the dog doing was, in fact, licking the ground. So the man recognized that this dog, just as I was suffering from thirst, he also is suffering from thirst. He went down the well again and filled his shoe, he filled it with water and caught it in his mouth and climbed up and found the dog and gave him the water. So it is part of mercy. So as I said, the entire subject, the entire subject of peaceful coexisting depends on how much we are merciful to each other. People are killing each other over there in the name of Islam. It's not true they are not fighting for Islam, because Islam says that if you take the life of one person, you take the life of one person without good reason, it is as if you have killed the entire mankind in terms of criminality. But if you save one person also who is about to die out of hardship, as if in terms of reward, you have saved the entire mankind. So I think it is important we bear this in mind, that those who are talking, time is up now, those who are talking about Islam, jihad here and there, I can assure you that they are not fighting for Islam. They are fighting for political purposes, for political interests, for their own interests. They are fighting in their own interests, not in the interest of Islam, because Islam did not allow anybody to kill his fellow or her fellow human being without a good reason. So I thank you very much. I would have gone on and on, but the time constraint, I must obey and comply with time, because I admire you people. You are very compliant with time. You are extremely organized. I wish that all of our people, our children in Africa could also be able, could be, in the same manner of discipline. You are extremely disciplined. I admire you. I thank you very much for your discipline. Thank you.